my daughter won her first tournament, in all the tournaments that she's played, which is a bunch, got her first victory, and I almost ruined it by having the opposite emotion as we came in off of the 9th hole. All right, so it's a 9-hole round. It's JDT 12 to 14. We were playing a kind of a tough, tricky course, Alhambra course, and she had done really well on the first bunch of holes. And in our mind, we set a goal. We said, okay, let's try to get 6 rounds of +6 or better so that you have the option when you want to move up if you want to try some Players Tour, which is the next level up. You know that.
I want to come back to this, but I want to finish the story. Yeah.
I know. But so I just want to, that's a goal we set. All right. I just want you to be able to set a goal to try to get that. So she's playing great the whole beginning of the, and I don't even know, we don't have live score. I'm not looking at live scoring or anything. I'm just watching my kid play. I'm being great. She got out of some tricky moments. I'm not saying anything. I'm just being supportive. I'm walking in the distance. She had like a couple times where she was on the green and was putting for birdie, but then it ended up being a bogey. I didn't even have a big issue. I was being great. We get to the 9th hole. She's 4 over. I'm like, okay, there's water on the left. I'm like, just don't go in the water. Don't go in the water, and you could double bogey this, and you'll be 6 over. That's the goal. That's what we were going for this whole tournament. Right off the tee, hits it right into trouble behind a tree. Good drive far, but behind some trees. I'm like, oh my God. All right. Then she punches out from, I yell, yikes. Shouldn't have done that. She punches out from below the trees to 45 yards, a brilliant, masterful shot. Low, beautiful shot, gets right back to the middle of the fairway. She's 45 yards away from the green. I'm like, oh, we might birdie this, but she might par this. She's definitely not. Bogey is the worst case scenario. I haven't seen her do this in ages. Sculls the shot past the green, almost into the parking lot. Then she chips back over, bounces 2 times on the green, goes off the green because the green was slanted down.
And you're counting down.
Now I'm like, uh-oh. So now that's 4 shots. So I'm like, now she has to chip it close and putt it in. 5th shot, she chips up, decent chip. I'm like, okay, this is it. You got to make the shot if you're going to hit 6, because in my mind, that's the goal. Misses the putt, like a 5-footer, rims out, then taps in, and she got a +7. And I was like, I could feel the blood rushing out of my face, and I was like, so upset, walking around. She could tell I was really angry. I could tell she was really angry. She was on the verge of tears. I was like, what happened? And she's like, this wasn't a bad shot coming back. I'm like, it actually wasn't. I was trying to be cool, but I was so mad, and she was so mad. And I was almost like, let's go home. But that was like, you know what? I'm going to just check the leaderboard and just see where she's at. Just because we were in the second to last group. I checked the leaderboard, and in the scoring, the best person in the groups in front of us was +9. She was +7.
She's like, oh, I'm in a good spot.
She's in the lead in the clubhouse. We have one more group coming in. I'm watching them play behind us. I'm like, there's no one in this group who's doing better than you. And we start watching it, and our emotions had to shift immediately. But I'm like, why did I have to come back from such a bad place?
Now we're cheering against these other kids.
I don't want to root against kids, but also in my mind, I'm also like, miss it. This is me, Noonan. But I'm also up in that area going I felt so dumb for being so mad about her missing some arbitrary cut that we made. We made the decision that was 6 or better. It's based on their rules, but who cares? Who cares? But I cared so much for some reason. She cared so much for some reason. We were both so crestfallen at the result on the 9th hole that we didn't look at the context of the whole tournament. And they came in, and of course, no one was better than she was in that day. And she won the whole tournament. And I was like, this is a landmark moment for you. It's a big moment for you. And we almost ruined it from 30 minutes earlier being pissed. And I felt so dumb, and I felt angry at myself. I was like, I need to be so much better as a supporter. Why couldn't I just, when she came in, say, all right, that sucked, but let's see where you are, instead of me being like, what happened? What the hell?
How'd you mess that up?
Yeah, how do we screw that up? All you had to do is get a double bogey here. You haven't gotten a double bogey for the rest of the day, and you tripled? What are we doing? That every bad thought was like exiting my mouth.
Finishing a round like that is so hard though.
It's devastating,
Yeah.
especially when you've been so on point the whole rest of the round. But that just goes to show you that, number one, nothing matters as much as you think it does in that moment. Number two, have context. Understand where you are in the round. Like, there are guys who have finished major tournaments, won majors, and they finished with a double bogey because that's what they needed to win. Like, they were 3 up, and they're like, all right, I put it past the hole, I put it back, who cares? I got a 6 on this one. All you need to do is win by 1.
Yeah. I won.
And so, not that winning is everything, but winning what is sort of the goal when you go to enter a tournament. That is a goal. You also want to like have fun, and you also want to like get better and all those things. However, I was taking so seriously this little goal that was separate from another goal that I wasn't paying attention. And I felt so dumb, and I know parents do this all the time. And so I'm like, I don't even know how I do better next time, but I guess I need to just be more aware of the whole overall situation.
I think for all of us, it's just the awareness of like, and again, I think the reminder is, we heard it from Rick Sessionhouse, we heard it from Justin, we've heard it from almost from every pro we've had on.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you know what? Those tournaments when I was 12, that didn't matter.
They don't matter.
They don't matter at all. The results don't matter. It's just the development and the reps.
So the results don't matter in that respect, but I'm going to say this. Your kid can be encouraged by a positive result to, I don't want to say necessarily like grind harder, but like if they know that's attainable in any way once in a while, not all the time, but once in a while, if your kid can have some, like, I can only say it in terms of comedy. Like when we were encouraged, when we would have a good set or book a TV something off of a set of comedy, that sent a message to ourselves saying all this hard work you're doing is sending you in the right direction. You do need to be aware of that.
Well, the results are an affirmation of the work that gets put in. So
Correct.
they matter. They don't matter in the big scheme of things, but they absolutely, it's nice to get results because the kids feel good about themselves. They get a little medal or a trophy.
It's the feedback. It's the accomplishment feedback loop. It's the feedback loop. You go, okay, I'm working. And if it's leading to disappointing results, then at some point, if that's the only loop you're in and it never takes you to a different place, then I can see where it gets frustrating. You're like, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to go back to the point you were making about that +6 goal.
Yes, please.
So I don't know what it's like in other cities, but here in Southern California, the Southern California PGA, there are different levels, different tiers of tournaments. And I know in other cities, is whatever their PGA locals have, there's usually tiers.
Right.
And here in LA, in Southern California, to move from the lower tier to the next tier up, you have to have 6 rounds +6 or better. And so we were lucky, Emmy kind of breezed through that, but we also have had friends that have like struggled and have been so laser focused on that score line that like, and I know I have one friend who I feel like kind of burned his kid out. And again, I can't speak for him, but like, because they were so focused on this +6, the kid knew the target was +6 and they were grinding so hard to get to this next level that it took them like a year of like tournaments every weekend. And it's so tough mentally because, for an 11, 12-year-old, like, hey, I made a double in the first hole. And it's like, there goes my +6.
There goes that round. Yeah.
And then like the rest of the round is sort of like mentally they're sort of shot. But by the time she actually got her 6 rounds of +6, she was kind of done.
Yeah. It's just like, I'm out.
So kind of ruined it. We're like, I think we went through it. Emmy didn't even know that was a thing. She was just out playing, not worrying about a target number, and could play loose and free, and like won a bunch. And like it was the +6s just happened naturally because there was no pressure of hitting that number. Because you're feeling that pressure.
I'm feeling the pressure.
I'm sure she knows. She's got her card. She knows where she's at. So it's sort of like now you can't put the genie back in that bottle?
Not really, but like if I don't bring it up and we just go play, then it will take that a little off the center stage. You're right.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's the right answer because some people might argue like, oh, it's good to have a goal and a target number. But to me, when they're young, it's like extra pressure to be like, you have to do this. Where if they're just playing and they're not thinking about
what they're doing,
playing
then maybe
each shot the best
then
they
they
can,
get there.
they're just going to get there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's hard to not bring it up, and you're right. I wonder if the genie is out of the bottle for me. So maybe if you have a kid and you haven't brought up like, hey, this is how you get to the next level, maybe it's worth not even mentioning it and you just like mentally clocking it on your own. I guess that's the better.
Yeah, I mean, to me,
move.
it worked for us.
Yeah, I think that's better. I mean, I've definitely gone the wrong way, which also we'll see how that works. But, you know, again, I almost ruined a really joyful moment by right before that moment having like super negative thoughts.
Yeah.
Which, you know, in the end, all it served to me is to feel bad about how I felt and to be like, that was unnecessary. That negativity didn't help anyone at all. Because look, the result was positive, and in the end, she played great all day. She just had one bad hole. She had a bad hole at the end.
And she won.
And she won. I mean, if she had had that bad hole on 2 and just like came through and just played great through the end, all right.
You wouldn't even, you would have walked off 9 and been.
Would have walked off feeling great.
Yeah.
If she birdied 9 and we walked off, it would have been like, come on. So, you know, it's context, it's understanding the whole round, it's understanding where you are in the larger picture. And then, of course, the, 30,000 foot look down on it is like, none of this actually matters at all.
No.
Except that we want our kids to want to continue whatever motivates them and helps them feel connected to wanting to get better. So whatever that does, whatever contributes to that, we should be in support of that.